P.S. elementary and middle school students will once again head back to the classrooms this morning.
Classes were, of course, canceled after the real first day of school, so just a myriad of bus issues, including the final student being dropped off just before 10 o'clock at night. The district does admit that families will probably see some level of delays today, but it is confident it will not be the nightmare that families saw last week. The district has spent the last 6 days attempting to fix the busing issues, and that includes making temporary changes. One example, additional staffers sitting in the front row of these buses helping drivers with GPS. JCPS is also adding vans and support buses to drive kids who are late arriving at bus compounds and bringing on an app to help track your student's bus in real time. Return dates were also staggered, with elementary and middle schoolers heading back to class today. High school students, as we've reported, will go back to school Monday.
And this morning, we have reporters out at several bus compounds. Travis Breeze is at the Blankenbaker bus compound in Middletown. But first, we're going to start with Jim Stratman. He is out at the Nichols Bus Depot in South Louisville. Jim, good morning.
Yes, good morning, Haley. We're out here. The buses are fired up. They are getting ready to head out on their routes. Many of them already out on their routes. First school starting at 7:40 this morning. And there's still a lot of questions, a lot of apprehension from parents. Mark Hebert from JCPS is joining me right now. And Mark, there is a lot of anxiety still with parents. We've heard that from parents. I'm sure you have heard plenty of that over the last 6 days. Yeah. What is the message to parents today?
I think the message is, number one, we're sorry about what happened last week. Number two, it's time to get back to school. Number three is probably just have patience. There are going to be buses that are going to be running late today. Hopefully not as late as they were last Wednesday in the afternoon. But I think parents, should know that these are short-term fixes. There's a number of them that we put in place in the last week and a half. Short-term fixes. They're not going to fix all the problems immediately, but we're working on them. There's going to be more communication today with families. There's going to be more buses on the road. We've contracted with Miller Transportation for 20 additional buses. So hopefully things will be better than they were last year, or last week, I'm sorry.
Last week. And also, something else important to point out is while the short-term fixes will be in place today, long-term fixes are still going on behind the scenes. And so what you see today, despite whatever it might be, is not how this will play out in the long term, weeks, hopefully months down the road.
Correct, and we've already started. I know you've all reported on that. We're talking with UPS and some other folks about how we can make those long-term fixes to our bus routes. The bottom line still is that we don't have enough bus drivers. We've got enough bus drivers to cover the routes we have, but those routes are all a lot longer. They all have a lot more stops, and for some, it's just physically impossible to get their runs done in the time frame they've been given. So we've got to figure that out for the long term. But right now, parents, just be patient and hang in there with us. We'll get your kids home safely because our bus drivers are the best, and they will get your kid home safely.
Thank you very much, Mark. We'll be checking back in with JCPS Communications staff later on this morning as we get set for the first day of school, part 2. Haley and Eric.
All right, we want to check in now with Travis Breeze, who is live at the Blankenbaker compound with what you're seeing out there. Travis.
Eric, you're seeing some of the buses roll out right now, doing their final checks and heading out to see if Friday will be better than last Wednesday. On the first day of school on August 9th, the morning had some issues, but it was really the afternoon when we saw those multiple hours long delays. But school officials are hoping to right the ship today. The district has been transparent that there will be delays today. One thing they are hoping will give parents peace of mind is that school employees have been trained on the bus tracking app Edulog. It is not available to parents yet, but if you call your child's school or 485-RIDE, they should be able to tell you where your child is. One middle school parent I spoke with said she is very thankful that her son has a cell phone.
We are lucky in the sense that Oliver is almost 13 years old. He has a cell phone. We can track his location. I think I would probably be feeling very differently if he were in elementary school. It's the same thing.
The district is also parking vans and extra buses at bus depots today. That way, if a student is late arriving on a transfer, their scheduled bus can leave without them and the support van can take them the rest of the way. Now, a district spokesperson did tell me that means that the student technically could not be tracked on Edgelog, but the van drivers will have cell phones with them and they are supposed to notify the school the second that they do pick up one of those kind of straggler students, and so they are supposed to be able to get the message to parents in that way. It's just one extra step. Live now in Louisville, Travis Breeze, WHAS11 on your side.
All right, 2 field crews working on the JCPS story. Travis, thank you, and also thank you to Jim. 606 now, or 606 now, changing gears. Metro Police are investigating a fatal overnight stabbing. This happened around 2:30 this morning near 26th and Chestnut. When police arrived, they found a man in the parking lot with stab wounds. He was taken to University Hospital where he later died. Homicide teams are now investigating, but right now there are no suspects. If you have any information, you're urged to call the anonymous tip line at 574 LMPD.
Metro Police detectives are also looking for a suspect after a woman was found chained in a Park Hill home. LMPD says neighbors called police Wednesday night after a woman was seen screaming for help for a Bowling Avenue house. Officers tried to go through the front door, but it was barricaded. So they climbed a ladder to the 2nd floor. The incident was captured on video and posted to social media. Inside the home, police found the woman with a chain around her neck bolted to the floor. Officers were able to rip up the chain and rescue the woman. Police say the suspect is wanted on multiple charges, including kidnapping.
A Shively man who killed his wife and shot his child was sentenced to 25 years in prison. Ronald Burdett pleaded guilty to murder and assault in June. He admitted to shooting his wife last July before turning the gun on his 11-year-old twins. Now, his daughter was shot, but his son was not. During his sentencing, Burdett said he was influenced by drugs.
What happened that night wasn't planned, intended, or even considered in my mind that night. I've always heard that messing with drugs will ultimately get you put in one or 2 places, and that's in jail or in the grave.
Just like to say, there is no justice today. These 4 kids ultimately lost their dad today, and they already lost their mom. So now they have nobody. They have nobody but family who's divided over all this. So there is no justice.
Burdett will have to spend at least 20 years in prison before he's eligible for parole.
Her co-workers referred to her as the biggest unsung hero of Scott County EMS. Deputy Director and paramedic Devanya Shulin passed away suddenly on Tuesday after giving birth to a healthy baby boy. More than a dozen EMS crews from different counties across southern Indiana joined Shulin's family to honor her last night.
She's just a good-hearted soul. I mean, she loved everybody. Every time she came into work, she had a smile on her face. There was times she knew she was going through things, she still pushed through it, and just made sure everybody had everything they needed. She was that person. She would put, everybody else before her.
Shulin's funeral service is scheduled for Saturday at noon at First Christian Church in Scottsburg.